So this morning on Pentecost Sunday, we in a way kind of pick up from last week, the ascension. We talked about how Jesus leaves on day 40, ascends into heaven, and the disciples are staring into heaven like, oh no, what's next? And then today, 10 days later, Pentecost Sunday, the 50th day, is when the Spirit comes. And the Spirit, and this is kind of patterned, this 50 days after Easter, like Jewish people, we took it from them. Passover, and 50 days later is the Feast of Shavuot, the Feast of the Weeks. So hear God's word in these familiar words. This is this story of that very first Pentecost Sunday that's supposed to be the birthday of the church. So Peace is 11 years old, right? And 11 and a half or something, and the whole church is a couple thousand years old. So happy birthday. When the day of Pentecost had come, they were all together in one place, and suddenly from heaven there came a sound like the rush of a violent wind, and it filled the entire house where they were sitting. Divided tongues as of fire appeared among them, and a tongue rested on each of them, and all were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in other languages as the Spirit gave them ability. Now there were devout Jews from every nation under heaven living in Jerusalem, and at this sound the crowd gathered and was bewildered because each one heard them speaking in the native language of each. Amazed and astonished, they asked, are not all these who are speaking Galileans? How is it that we hear each of us in our own native language? Parthians, Medes, Elamites, residents of Mesopotamia, Judea and Cappadocia, Pontus and Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia, Egypt and the parts of Libya belonging to Cyrene, and visitors from Rome, both Jews and proselytes, Cretans and Arabs, in our own languages, we hear them speaking about God's deeds of power. All were amazed and perplexed, saying to one another, what does this mean? But others sneered and said, they are filled with new wine. But Peter, standing with the 11, raised his voice and addressed the men of Judea and all who live in Jerusalem. Let this be known to you, and listen to what I say. Indeed, these are not drunk, as you suppose, for it's only 9 o'clock in the morning. When has that stopped anyone, really? But no, this is what was spoken through the prophet Joel. In the last days it will be, God declares, that I will pour out my Spirit upon all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your young men shall see visions. Your old men shall dream dreams. Even upon my slaves, both men and women, in those days I will pour out my Spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will show portents in the heaven above and signs on the earth below, blood and fire and smoky mist. The sun shall be turned to darkness, and the moon to be blood, before the coming of the Lord's great and glorious day. Then everyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved.